in today's video, we are diving into the patch note for version 2.7.2. I'll be breaking down the update into 4 key sections: new features, Legion of Frostborn, other optimizations, and balance adjustments. To make it easier for you to navigate, I've included timestamps in the descriptions so you can jump to the sections that interest you the most. With that being said, let's get started. In this patch, the game introduced us to 5 new features. The first one being the customizable alliance rank names. Now your alliance rank names can be changed to anything your R5 and R6 desire. It can be like warrior, farmer, and more, depends what your R5 and R6 are like. So this is going to be a pretty cool feature that adds a personal touch to Alliance. The second one will being the new skills in Tower of Knowledge. It's going to be very interesting what these 4 new skills are going to do. Are they going to be game changing, or are they going to be like something like the mid-tier skills where they can be added like an option to the current meta, or are they going to be the meta changer? We're going to see that. Probably they are going to be 3 skills, so let's see how it goes when it comes out, because I don't have any information other than the names itself. So number 3, skip summoning animations at Hall of Immortals. This feature lets you skip the summoning animations, which should save a lot of time if you want to summon a lot at once. Number 4, territory teleportation VFX. We're getting new visual effects for territory teleportations. It'll be interesting to see what kind of effects they're introduced to us. So maybe we're gonna get from what we currently have, a donkey or horse like dragging a caravan or a building or whatever it is dragging. Maybe we can see like a dragon, a bird, or even like a tiger, or whatever the game wants to do. I think that would be a cool feature, so let's wait for that when it comes out. So number 5, preparation season world buff. I'm not entirely sure what this entails. It could be similar to this Castle 55 buff that most players currently have right now, or it could be something entirely new. We'll have to wait and see what's gonna happen. In this section of the video, we will be talking about the optimization for the new Legion of Frostborn. The first one being the optimized the locking mechanism of the top 8 alliances in each region. I'm very curious about this one because the current system is, in my opinion, very weird. I thought we were going to see like the winning server are going to meet several winning servers like match up quite more often, but I've seen until now that it doesn't matter. I have met a lot of the servers, the same servers before, so hopefully the next matchmaking we will see something different, and I hope this optimization gonna help out the matchmaking part. So I'm looking forward to it, and let's see next KBK seasons. Number 2, the federations. I think this one is really good update. Now you can see your allies build and destroy towers, the timer of it. So for me, I think it will be easier to calculate what you can do and can't do with your allies. So very good update. Number 3, various event optimizations, changing name from build up strength to building steam, with the new PvP task added to the event as well. Is going to be very interesting. I really like the rewards. I really like that we can grind stuff in Legion of Frostborn instead of having to go back to Norheim to do various events. So for me, it's a big plus. The number 2 is Purification Altar event. The target point for summoning the altar event have been increased from 50,000 to 120,000. not bad event, not a bad change because 50,000 is really small amount. I think most of the alliances, I'm talking from my experience, my alliance, we managed to gather 50,000 within like 2 hours. So for me, I think that's too fast. I even think that 120,000 is also a small amount. It should be like 200, maybe 250, 300,000 because it's supposed to last for 1 week. And yeah, in my opinion, it's too fast, but or too small amount. But let's see when it comes next time. Maybe they're gonna adjust again. The difficulty of the ancient altar has been adjusted. I think that is needed as well. A lot of people have very strong marches nowadays, so it might be too easy as well. The duration of the random goddess blessing buff has been extended from 4 hours to 24 hours. I think that makes sense. I personally don't have experience with the blessing itself, so let's go take a look in the game how it is. Oh, I do have it now. So the conversion ratio of the city points to alliance points is raised by 100%. Is that when we taking the city, or I'm not 100% sure what it does properly. I have to research that, but if it's going from 4 hours to 24 hours, it's already good. So the number 4 will be the Alliance internal personal legion marks. So now you can check your legion marks in the Alliance interface. If you come here, you will see the Alliance legion mark here. Probably when the updates comes, I think that's pretty good as well. So now you don't have to go back and forth through like a lot of different stuff just to see the legion mark. Number 5, the last one will be the interface optimization. The first one being the faction selection. After selection a faction, tap the faction list to view the alliance list by the factions. So that will be easier for a lot of people to see which alliance are in our factions. And the faction information, the top right corner of the map will now show the reputation and city points associated with each factions. I think that's going to be making a lot of stuff easier for a lot of people, especially for me, because sometimes you're kind of confusing. You're just looking for the at the map if you see like, oh, if this person is green or not, because there's a lot of things going on the faction ranking. So for me, this is gonna help me a lot. So I give a thumb up for that as well. And see you in the next section. In this section of the video, we will be looking into other optimizations. The first one being the active events adjustment. Basically, it's gonna be another King of the Hill event, but in this event, instead of getting immortals, you will get artifact schematics. Hopefully, they're going to get the artifacts of those immortals that you get from King of the Hill. That would have been perfect. I think a lot of people are going to grind this and looking forward to play this event. Number 2, Expel Rebels. Event rewards now include random immortal fragments. I think it's gonna be interesting. The Rebels, I think, in my opinion, they should have added more empowerment stones so you can upgrade your artifact rather than immortal fragments. But let's see how it goes. Maybe it's gonna be good after all. So, and number 3, King of the Hill milestones rewards now include immortal fragments. I think this is gonna be very interesting. Now, all of these, like the days, the stages of the King of the Hill, we can get immortal fragments. So that's going to be very interesting as well. It will definitely motivate a lot of people to do them more unless you have all the immortals. The number 2 here is the golden path reward adjustment. The first one being the rewards above level 50 have been adjusted and merit chests now yield 30 merit coins. Let's go take a look in the game what the current is right now. I think from what I understand that this part will be 30 coins now and then we will get something here as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. So let's see how it goes. The second one being the random immortal fragments of the fragment have been added to the shop. Wow, okay. Let's go back to the game and take a look at the shop. I mean, if we're gonna get these fragments, hopefully they're not gonna cost a lot and we can get them like for 300 coins. We can get like 60 shards. That would be a perfect number, but I don't know what it's gonna be, so we will see how it goes. But that's a good additional stuff to the shop. Let's go back to the thing, and then we go number 3, word open status optimization. From what I understand is probably you can jump to a newer server faster than before. Before you have to have, or your server have to play for 90 days before your, like before others can jump to your server. Now only being 50 days, I think they're gonna pace up a lot of the new players and a lot of the old servers will be looking into the new servers to jump to. So that's gonna be interesting for people that are or want to jump. So keep a look at this update, and I think it would be a good one if you like to jump around the world quite often. Number 4, the data optimizations. I think that's fine. I think it's very straightforward. Private chat retain the last 10 contacts with the last 30 messages for each contact. Mail retail 50 mail per type, but 100 mails per system messages. Blah blah blah. 3 battle reports retains 50 report per type. I think that's a good one. I really like this one because sometimes it seems like reports just vanish and vanish pretty much an hour after you basically fought somebody or you hit someone or farm nooms. So this is very good for me, in my opinion. Number 5, Anubis battle report statistics optimization. The damage statistics in Anubis battle reports to reflect bleed effects. Alright, that's a decent one. Not bad. I didn't know that you couldn't see it before, so this one is a good one, I guess, since I don't know if Anubis is gonna be very popular, but if it becomes popular, this is gonna be a really good one to be able to see. Number 6 and the last one, adjustment nooms attack marching route color in Malina's ambitions. So this one is gonna be a very interesting one, and I really like this update because as you can see before, when you move somewhere, like if you move to somewhere you have a green line, but if you're playing Malina, right, then this line that goes from the spawn to your city is gonna be, for example, yellow, but the spawn go to the city will be like red. So now you can differentiate the difference. I really like the difference, so a very good update. The fourth and the last section of this patch will be the balance adjustment. The first one being the battle durations. So from 90 seconds to 150 seconds, I think it's going to be very good. It's going to be really interesting to see if that's going to change the meta. I think the game is trying to try to switch out a little bit of the current meta to something else. So it's going to be really interesting. The number two is the troop loss algorithm adjustments. Due to the extended battle duration, we adjusted the algorithm for the solo death and serious wounded. Reducing player troop losses in battles is going to be really good as long as it scales up with the battle durations timer. So this is going to be really interesting to keep an eye on for the future. The third one, and I think in my opinion, is the highlight of the section. The artifact forge probabilities increases the probability of the forging artifact with special attributes by 10%. This is going to be really interesting. I'm ready to try it out. I've been saving up some artifacts, so I'm going to make a video about this to show you guys how much it has improved. So wait a little bit, guys. So we're going to see in the upcoming days, maybe in like 2-3 days, I'm gonna make a videos about this. So number four, the academy technology adjustments. The first one being the troop technology, like reduce the resource cost for troops training from 10% to the -15%. It's gonna be a decent one. I'm not complaining about this one because I think it's gonna be cheaper to make troops. I'm all in for it. The second ones and more, in my opinion, more important is the defense technology. The iron body reduces the received damage of garrison from -10% to -5%. Hopefully, we're gonna see some change here, something different, because I think when a whale can defend himself against a rally march of 5 whales as well, or mini whales, I think that's too powerful in my opinion. So this one hopefully gonna help out with the battles, and so the biggest whales cannot, you know, win a battle like 1 versus 5 anymore. Or they can, but hopefully it doesn't happen as often as it used to be. The number five, immortal skill adjustments. I'm really excited for this one because I hope the game is doing this more often to see maybe try to change the meta by doing skill adjustments. The first immortal we're seeing is Louis. Howling Thunder added a passive effect that increased normal attack speed by 20%. It's going to be very interesting. If this is going to be really fast and gonna do a lot of damage, I think in the lightning team it might replace Elcid in a full tank lightning, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm positive about this part. So I'm definitely gonna test it out for you guys and probably make a video about it as well. We will see how it goes. The number two is Genghis Khan, increasing the damage from 440 to 500% is pretty much, you know, a huge buff in my opinion. Khan wasn't that bad from before, and now they buff it to another level. For me, it came out of nowhere, but I'm here for it. I'm gonna test him out, possibly make a video about him as well. So watch out, you guys. The next one, Baldwin. I think this one is not a huge buff. The only buff here is the second split, where with the artifact, keep in mind, with the artifact, it goes from 50% to 75%, and his base attack now go from 25 to 50%. So without the artifact, this is the base stats, but with the artifact, I know they haven't changed the description of the artifact yet, but it will go from 50% to 75% with the artifact. And the next one, really interesting one in my opinion, Margaret. She has potential to be the game changer for the water team at least. Instead of dealing the damage in fan-shaped area, now deals basically on all enemies, basically the same as the Merlin. And if the target is shield, you increase the damage by 300%. So you have the possibility to deal 800%. I think in theory this is really strong immortal, but we're gonna see how she works out after the patch since she's water, you know, and water is not exactly in the meta. Now to the sixth point and the last point in the sections, we have skill adjustment. We have the first 5 skills being the protection skills. I don't think they are good enough. So I will skip them so we don't have to spend our time for skills that I think we're never going to see in the first and the second team or even third team. For some, not in the teams, the 4 teams at all. So let's skip to the relevant skills one. So it would be number 6 and number 7. And number 6 being the Storm Strike. Every normal attack has a 35% chance to cause magical damage. Damage rate before 100%, now 150% to all enemy units. I think this is a very interesting skill. Hopefully it will work well in some of the teams I've had in my mind with Louis. I'm a big fan of Louis because I used to be a big fan of Lightning, but I had to change my meta, so I have gone away from Lightning, but with this update, it seems like Lightning might be back a little bit, so I have to do some tests, and this Storm Strike skill might be very good in a Lightning March in a Lewis build, but we will see when it comes out. Number 7, and legendary skill, so we will see how much of the buff or debuff it is. After the battle starts, there are 50% before and now 60% chance to deal magical damage to all enemies every 3 seconds. In my opinion, that's really good buff, but the damage rate 400% to 350%, the debuff by 50% is so. In my opinion, the extra 10% to increase the chances to do the damage and the stuff triumph over the loss of 50% damage. So in my opinion, a mini buff because now you can hit more often, there's bigger chance as well. So for me, it's worth the 50% debuff. But some people might disagree with me and say it is a debuff, but I don't think this buff or debuff is gonna be a game changer or a skill changer for this instance. So yeah, that's about it about this patch. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've been trying to explain everything that I can in this video and going through and give you my opinions in this video. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, press a like. If you really like the video, please press subscribe and see you guys in the next video. Have a good day, good night, or good morning. Depends where you are. Bye bye.